Are you looking for the best 55-inch TVs winter? In this video we will look at some of the best 55-inch TVs winter on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Samsung QN55S90 CAFXA. The Samsung QN55S90 CAFXA, also known as the Samsung S90C OLED, is the best 55-inch TV we've tested. It's a premium TV with fantastic overall picture quality and a huge selection of smart features. It has great peak brightness and perfect, inky blacks for some of the most vibrant HDR viewing experiences. It doesn't have Sony's top-tier processing capabilities, but it's no slouch in that department and is certainly good enough for anyone except for movie enthusiasts. Unfortunately, unlike the Sony XR-55A95L OLED listed below, the Samsung TV doesn't support advanced audio and video formats, so there's no DTS support, and the TV is limited to the less commonly used HDR10+ format rather than Dolby Vision HDR. However, for most buyers, this is the best-looking 55-inch TV they can get for the price, as it's significantly cheaper than the Sony. Thankfully, it's a standout performer for gaming, with full HDMI 2.1 bandwidth support on all 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, all of which support up to 4K at 144Hz, which is amazing for high-end PC gamers. You could also go for the Samsung S95C OLED instead, which is one of the brightest and most vibrant TVs on the market. It's basically a slightly brighter S90C, but it comes with a significant price hike and isn't worth it for most people. At number 2. Sony XR-55A95L. If you want the best home theater experience, the Sony XR-55A95L is the best 55-inch smart TV for movie enthusiasts. It's significantly more expensive than the Samsung S90C OLED and is a bit worse for gaming due to its higher input lag. It also only has 2 full HDMI 2.1 bandwidth ports, although it does support Dolby Vision gaming at 120Hz, a first for a Sony TV. Still, it has a QD OLED panel similar to the one found on the Samsung TV and has some of the best image processing on the market, ensuring you'll get the best HDR experience from almost any source, regardless of its quality. This can be important for the best possible movie watching experience. It also supports advanced DTS audio formats and the popular Dolby Vision HDR format, making it a standout performer for a home entertainment setup. There's no real alternative to this TV. Sony stands alone with its processing capabilities, and this model is their current highest-end option. If you want a Sony OLED for its processing but don't care about high peak brightness or vibrant colors, consider the Sony A80L/A80CL OLED. It has a OLED panel instead of the QD OLED panel found in the A95L, so it resembles a dimmer LG C3 OLED but with Sony's excellent image processing. At number 3. Hisense 55U8K. If you're not in a completely dark room, a brighter 55-inch LED TV like the Hisense 55U8K is better than the Samsung S90C OLED or the Sony A95L OLED. Although higher-tier OLEDs can now output impressive peak brightness levels, LED TVs like this can reach even higher peak brightness levels in HDR and SDR and maintain these peaks for longer. Besides brightness, this TV delivers excellent picture quality, with very deep blacks, thanks to its mini LED local dimming feature, which improves the appearance of dark scenes and further brings out bright highlights. The Hisense supports both Dolby Vision HDR and HDR10+ and passes through advanced DTS audio formats. It also has very good image processing overall, making it a great home entertainment option. Of course, mini LED isn't as good as OLED technology for a dark room, as there's some distracting blooming around bright highlights in dark scenes, but it's still very good and is sure to please most people. Overall, it's a great TV for almost any use. It has a great selection of gaming features, including VRR, Dolby Vision HDR at 120Hz, and HDMI 2.1 bandwidth on 2 HDMI inputs, both supporting up to 4K at 144Hz gaming, making it fully compatible with the Xbox Series X, PS5, or a recent PC graphics card. Unfortunately, its viewing angle is subpar, which is one of the major losses with this TV compared to the OLEDs. If you have deep pockets, Hisense has a limited-release super high-end product, the Hisense UX. It's a bit better than the U8K for a massive price increase. Also, it's only available in a 55-inch format in Europe. At number 4. LG OLED 55B3 PUA. The LG OLED 55B3 PUA, or LGB3 OLED, is one of the best 55-inch TVs in the mid-range category. It's a great mid-range TV and can be an excellent entry point into the OLED market. The TV has all the features of the more expensive LG C3 OLED, but the B3 is dimmer and has only two HDMI 2.1 bandwidth ports. It still delivers outstanding picture quality, especially in a dark room, with its near-infinite contrast ratio delivering deep, inky blacks with no distracting blooming. Its built-in WebOS platform is just as fast on this lower-tier model, and it still has very good image processing, so it has no issues upscaling lower-resolution content if you watch DVDs, cable boxes, or Blu-rays. It also has Dolby Vision HDR and supports DTS advanced audio formats, which is great for physical media as it tends to use DTS for their audio tracks. Its viewing angle is fantastic, so viewers can watch the TV from all over the room without degrading their viewing experience. Like the C3, this TV has a wide color gamut and is extremely accurate without any calibration, so movies look as the content creator intended. This TV is also great for gaming, as it's compatible with every VRR technology, has a fantastic response time, and extremely low input lag. Its two HDMI 2.1 ports have up to 4K at 120Hz support, although unfortunately, like on the Sony XR-55A95L, one of its HDMI 2.1 ports also doubles as the TV's eARC port, leaving you with only one high-speed port if you have a soundbar connected through eARC. At number 5. Hisense 55U7K. If you want high-end performance but don't want to spend high-end prices, check out the 55-inch Hisense 55U7K. It's cheaper than anything recommended up to this point but delivers picture quality that is almost as good as the more expensive choices. It has a great mini LED backlight, letting it simultaneously provide incredibly bright highlights and deep blacks, with barely any blooming around bright objects in dark scenes. HDR content looks great, and like the Hisense U8/U8K, it supports both Dolby Vision HDR and HDR10+ for the best HDR experience possible, as well as advanced audio formats, like DTS-X over eARC, for the best sound when watching content on physical media. And just like the more expensive Hisense, the U7K has very good image processing overall, making it a cheaper standout for a home entertainment setup. Unfortunately, like the other Hisense TVs, its viewing angle is subpar, making it a bad choice for a wide seating arrangement. It runs the Google TV interface, which is fast and easy to use, and it has a great selection of streaming features, so you're sure to find your favorite shows. It's great for gaming thanks to its Dolby Vision HDR 120Hz support and two HDMI 2.1 bandwidth ports, both capable of up to 4K at 144Hz gaming with VRR. This makes the TV a standout choice for PC gamers with powerful rigs and fully compatible with recent consoles. If you love this TV but want it to be even brighter, consider the Hisense U8K, which is just a much brighter U7K. At number 6, Hisense 55U6K. The Hisense 55U6K is a great choice if you want something on a budget in a 55-inch size. It's a great TV for the price, with surprisingly good picture quality. It looks great in a darkroom thanks to its excellent contrast and functional full-array local dimming feature, so dark scenes look great, with very little blooming around bright areas of the screen. It's also decent in a bright room, thanks to its good peak brightness and SDR and satisfactory reflection handling. This means you don't have to worry about glare. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the same great image processing as the more expensive Hisense TVs on this list, but it still supports advanced Dolby and DTS audio formats in both Dolby Vision HDR and HDR10+. It's a great TV for gaming, as it has superb low input lag and variable refresh rate support, so the action on screen is in sync with your movements on the controller, and there's very little screen tearing. Unlike more expensive models on the list, it's limited to a 60Hz refresh rate, which is disappointing for gamers wanting to take advantage of the capabilities of recent consoles and PC GPUs. However, it's still great for visually intensive games on consoles that target 4K at 60Hz in their graphics mode.